Test 1 2 3. Test 3 2 1. Hello there, I'm Techinthehouse. I don't know if there's anyone listening yet, but this is the first live stream of the channel and I'm currently testing everything to see how it goes. I'm currently testing the audio. I hope it's good. We'll see. Currently we have 0 people. I'm currently analyzing my own audio feedback to check that everything can be heard correctly. So just doing some troubleshooting currently, setting everything up, and soon enough we'll start. And just to bring some clarity on what type of devices I'm using currently, just the PC and literally the internal microphone of the PC. So it is what it is, just good average quality. Currently just testing and soon enough we'll start everything. This is the first live stream of the channel and the goal with this is to create a environment, a chilled environment to debate some tech topics, maybe some other topics related to things that are ongoing in the world, and we'll see how it goes, how many people join, and hopefully we can create like a nice space to have some debates openly here. We'll see how everything goes. Today's video is titled Apple WWDC 2024, the 13 biggest announcements, and for this one, of course, it's the first live stream, so there's not very high expectations, but the premise for this one was to go over the 13 biggest changes that Apple has announced for their iOS 18, the newest update. There's a lot of big changes. Apple, for the first time, has allowed high levels of personalization, which actually have been available in Android for years now, so that's a hot topic, and also a whole lot of features related to AI, but maybe not AI in the sense that you imagine it, but rather Apple Intelligence. That's the name they came up with. Oh, and of course, just for the record, if you're new to the channel, hello, I'm Techinthehouse, tech enthusiast, uh, on the house of the 20s years old. Just not to say the real age, for no reason, actually, there's no danger anyways. But yeah, just an adolescent trying to figure out life, studying, uh, again, not revealing what, for the same reasons which have no fundament anyways, no danger, apparently, we'll see. But yeah, just another adolescent trying to figure life, and yeah, tech enthusiasts from a very long time, and created this channel uh, about 4 years ago now, 3 to 4 years, with the goal of creating a tech space, because given that the topic I'm studying is not 100% related to tech, it's more like 45-50% related to tech, and I also wanted to keep contact with tech. I created a channel with a purpose of being able to uh, combine the two worlds, both the thing that I'm studying and technology. So this is just a introduction to the channel and who I am. So if you're new, welcome, and feel free to subscribe, because the goal is to start making more of these conversations and more often, and maybe, who knows, a face reveal, which to be honest is not that's calling it a first reveal wouldn't be accurate, in the sense that there has been a video with my face on the channel along, but it's not public currently, but it has existed a long time ago in the past. So so very shortly we'll begin discussing the topic at hand, which is the 13 biggest announcements Apple has made in their WWDC. Just to be very clear, what we'll be doing here is I've picked an article from The Verge by Emma Roth. It's a newsletter in English, and I'll go over it. I'll basically read it and discuss important topics. And anyone is free to write anything in a chat, and any topic is welcome, any question is welcome, any any point is welcome, really, any opinion. And let's create a open space for debate and for discussion, and to make clear and get out of here with some interesting ideas on our minds. And above everything, have fun. And another topic, unrelated, just to be honest, this thing of setting up a live stream is not as complicated as it might seem. At least not as I thought it would be. It's fairly easy, actually. So if you're, I don't know, a creator and have been wanting to start live streaming for a long time, just do it. Don't be afraid. You'll get it, because it's actually easier than people make it seem. There's not that much of configurations to mess around or apps to install. It's not that hard as it seems. At least that's how I felt about it. Like currently now, doing it for the first time. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and I have set almost everything up, so we are really ready to start. But first and foremost, behold the first post screen of the channel, which has a style that is it's from the videos. I won't say this will be the waiting the post screen for every live stream. I'm thinking of making some tweaks and changes, but it looks good. It's congruent with the video style, the new video style that we are hoping to try and see how it goes. The first video went well, we believe, given the stats, but we'll see. But yeah, this is the usual living room you can see on the last video of the channel about the Rabbit R1 and the human AI pin. You know, those two AI devices which failed to fulfill their promises. Yep, those are those ones. But those are not the topic of discussion for today. Okay, so I want to keep track if someone comments, so I'll leave this here. I want to make sure I can see what you guys are up to. Give me just a second to make sure I have everything correctly set up. Okay, I think we are set to go. Let's deculate. Here's our beautiful pause screen again. And okay, let's get into the main thing that brought us here. The Apple WWDC 2024. The 13 biggest announcements. Okay, let's do this. Let's see. So, Apple's WWDC keynote had a lot to do with AI. This is an article by Emerald, a writer from The Verge. If you don't know, this is basically a electronic tech newsletter and basically a website of news. The Verge, very known, very good, not only tech but also science and entertainment. And this is the article we'll use as the basis. I'll go over it, I'll read it literally, and maybe take some points, express some opinions, listen to some opinions you guys might have, and we'll see how it goes. So, let's see. Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference keynote has come to a close, and the company had a whole lot to share. We got our first look at the AI features coming to Apple's devices and some major updates across the company's operating systems. If you missed out on watching the keynote live, I've gathered all the biggest announcements that you can check out. Okay, nice. Just to be honest, I myself didn't watch the keynote live. I watched like 10 minutes, half that I got in the middle of it was happening, and then I left. And I got to see almost nothing, just a few AI features. I remember, I think when I got inside the live stream, they were talking about being able to move apps freely, move apps on the home screen, which is a big change. But no, I did not watch the keynote live. So let's see. Apple's first AI system is coming to the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. With almost all of big tech getting in the AI boom, it's no surprise that Apple is launching an AI system of its own. Apple Intelligence is the company's new personal intelligence system that puts powerful generative models right at the core of your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. That enables a ton of new capabilities across Apple's native apps, such as the ability to generate images or summarize text. This sounds very familiar. Apple's intelligence comes with big emphasis on security, as the system will automatically decide whether it needs to use on-device processing or contact Apple's private cloud computing servers to fulfill your request. The system will be available for free on the iPhone 15 Pro, as well as the iPads and Macs with the M1 chip on later. Okay, there's a lot of already interesting points that we can make here. It's very interesting that the system will be available for free. I don't know, like being Apple, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a subscription-based model to get the best of the best AI. That wouldn't be a surprise. We know iCloud is subscription, Apple TV subscription, a lot of Apple services are subscription, so it would be a no-brainer for them, more influx of cash. And we can also see what else is interesting here. Ability to generate images or summarize text. That's very interesting. That's a ChatGPT feature, as well as other, of course, other AI models. particularly the one famous from OpenAI as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Da Vinci, something similar to Da Vinci. And okay, that's interesting. They're bringing it not only to iPhone but also iPad and Mac, and they call it Apple Intelligence. Interesting, interesting. Classic Apple, rebranding what already exists just to make it look like their own. If you're not familiar with this Apple practice, they do it all the time. And before this one, the last one they did was like call it. It's not. It's not. I mean, actually, the example I'm gonna give is not much of a rebranding, but rather just not wanting to say AI. They would say like machine learning. They would present 5 features of AI and call it machine learning. But now they can call it Apple Intelligence. And they probably can say AI because they don't mean AI, they mean Apple Intelligence. Great trick, Apple. And so, moving on, Siri gets a big AI boost. Lord, thank you. I think everyone that owns an iPhone has been wanting this for ages. Correct me if I'm wrong. And please, people, if anyone is watching, comment. Don't be afraid to comment. Express your opinion. I can see every comment here, so don't be afraid to comment. If you own an iPhone, tell me. Like, I would like to know. Like, do you use Siri often, or is it like just a feature that gets, forgotten on the side? You don't really remember you have it, and when you remember and use it, it's slower than just doing what you're gonna do anyways. Let me know. I'm very curious. But yeah, Siri gets a big AI boost. And just to clarify, something very important. When it comes to these AI features, it's not that Apple is not using OpenAI, they are. But it's also not that they do not have their own machine learning in-house models. They also have. Actually, Siri, as far as I've read, will warn you and ask you for permission when instead of using Apple's own Apple intelligence models, wants to resort to AI from OpenAI. This means a ChatGPT 4.0, the latest one. And then you accept it, you give it permission, and then it will use. So even though Apple kind of outsourced ChatGPT 4.0, it's not like you won't be warned that they are using a third party. And also, they took a bunch of privacy measures, which I will not be detailing here. But rest assured, your data is safe as long as they're concerned. And so, Siri gets a big AI boost. Apple's big push into AI also includes Siri. The upgraded voice assistants will now be integrated more deeply into the iPhone, appearing as a pulsating light on the edge of your device. Okay, interesting. It will give you more control over your apps, allowing you to ask the voice assistants to find information inside a particular email, or even surface a photo of one of your friends. Apple is relying on LLMs to help Siri better understand what you say and keep track of follow-up requests and questions. Okay, this is interesting. Siri will get better because Siri will get Apple Intelligence power, and they will appear as a pulsating light on the edge of your device? Okay, I'm not sure what this means. Is Apple installing a LED light on the frame of the phone, or rather something digital, a digital effect? It's not clear here, but I don't think. I mean, they do have added a new button to the iPhone, so I'm open to anything at this point. But yeah, just know that, just a sidetrack, but really quickly, the button is mostly used for taking pictures. Okay, Apple is building ChatGPT into Siri. Okay, now we're getting into some juicier stuff. Siri's big AI upgrade also includes an integration with OpenAI ChatGPT chatbot. With a new integration, Siri will automatically determine whether a query would be better suited for ChatGPT. It will then ask for your permission before sending its request to ChatGPT. You'll be able to use ChatGPT through Siri for free and without an account. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Apple has created a funnel for us to use ChatGPT without, uh, logging, registering ourselves to the service. That's interesting. As far as I know, I guess owning an iPhone is currently the only way to do that. Access the models without creating an account. Assuming that Apple, as they've professed, they're protecting our privacy. It's very interesting. Okay, and I'll give my insight, but please feel free to comment leave a comment with your opinion. But the way I see it is Apple, given looking at the history of Apple, it feels like they only make this kind of partnership, like right, with ChatGPT, because I think with OpenAI, I mean, because they would be left behind. I think that is the only reason they saw this as a menace. Imagine suddenly all the phones on the market are intelligent, all but the iPhone. That's a threat to their that's a threat to the enterprise, and so they acted quickly. Of course, they would never be able to reach OpenAI levels of expertise in in less than half of the time it took OpenAI to get it, though. So they had to join in into the party because I think otherwise they wouldn't do this. They would rather do something themselves, which they did, but it's not enough, and that's why they partnered with OpenAI. So moving on. But let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you think Apple made an intelligent move by partnering with OpenAI? And if you own an iPhone, let me know, like, how do you feel about this? Is it something you are expecting, or would you rather Apple just stick with the normal stuff? What do you think? Because it's not every day that Apple makes partnerships with third-party companies, so that's an Android thing. Android Windows partners with Samsung, that partners with who knows who, and that's an Android thing. This is not unprecedented, but rare. So let me know what you think about it. Are you happy? Are you sad about it? I'm kind of, I don't own an iPhone, so for me it's fine. I just feel that the iPhone is losing more and more its identity in the sense that it's more of an Android and less of an iPhone in the general definitions that people use. So that's how I see it, but we'll see. And so moving on. New AI features in mail, messages, photos, and more. Apple is rolling out a bunch of new AI features across its apps in iOS 18, including a way to summarize emails and generate responses. The company showed off its new Genmoji feature, letting you create custom emoji based on a text prompt, along with a new AI image generator called Image Playground. Okay, this is interesting. You'll be able to create your own custom emojis. This is very interesting and very useful. Dare I say, this is smart. This is very smart move. And it's funny they call it Image Playground because this is no advertisement. This is no advertisement, but there is already an image website called Playground.ai. So interesting, interesting choice. That site creates AI images. I mean, that's what I mean. And so Apple is bringing AI to the Photos app, giving you the ability to search for photos using natural language. You can also clean up objects in the background of your pictures, similar to Google's Magic Eraser. Additionally, Apple is adding AI-powered transcriptions and summaries to Notes and the phone apps. Okay, Notes and descriptions, this was already expected and it's very, very useful. I myself use GPT to organize everything in the sense that like you have big documents of notes and things you've written or books or articles. You give it to GPT in a flash like this. It has everything organized and sorted by topics. It's very good for organization. And let me know in the comments if like is this something you'd like to see in the channel, like a video on how to use GPT to organize your life? I mean, I find it very useful. It's so fast. It's not that you can't do it yourself, but not at the speed that it does. It's seconds. It's very good to organize things. So if you'd like to see a video on the channel about how to use ChatGPT to organize your life, let me know. And so moving on, the iPhone gets more customizable in iOS 18. Aside from all the AI, Apple is introducing a new and more customizable control center in iOS 18. It's also launching a way to freely place app icons on your home screen. The company will also let you lock certain apps with the coming update, preventing other people from using them when you hand them your phone. This is interesting. This is what I was talking about earlier. So, after years of iPhones all looking the same, dull, organized, boring, you've been given now the power and freedom to do whatever you want with your lock screen. Make it unique, make it yourself, make it your own work of art. That's basically it. Poetry in the form of a feature. So you can make it red, you can make it ugly, you can make it stupid, you can make it disorganized, you can make it anything. This is a thing that exists in Android for years, this level of customization, and I won't sit here and not say that it's ridiculous that only after these many years you can finally move icons freely on the grid of the home screen in an iPhone, because it is. Thank God this feature has been finally released. This feature sounds like more something that was restrained from being available. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you own an iPhone, were you looking forward to this? To the ability to move icons freely? And if yes, do you already have like some, I don't know, some ideas on how to create your home screen? Let me know in the comments. So next, the iPhone is finally getting RCS support. Just to make it clear, in case you don't know, RCS is basically the messaging system that Androids use to contact themselves. Yes, Androids are not rocks that only contact through SMS and MMS. No, there's the RCS system. Basically, iMessage is like safe connection. But yep, finally iPhones will allow it, so that's interesting. After announcing support for RCS last year, Apple confirmed that it's arriving with iOS 18. It didn't expand on any other details beyond that, though. iMessage is getting some other updates too, including the ability to schedule texts and support for SMS messaging via satellite. Apple is also rolling out colorful tapback options and will let you bold, underline, and italicize text. So, basically, Apple is giving you more freedom with your texts on iMessage. Is very interesting. Ability to schedule texts. This is something that I've always, for years now, I've used this point as a pro of having an Android. I say you can schedule your messages to be sent later. Finally, Apple is bringing it back to Apple is bringing this feature to iPhones. And so yeah, last one thing that we can say Androids do better. Honestly, I feel like this update and even the last ones, Apple has been just closing more and more the gap between what an Android can do and an iPhone can do. It's almost like they have hit all the perfections they wanted, and now they're just closing the gap, just to make sure iPhone is really the better option. That's what it looks like, honestly. And that's an intelligent move, honestly. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you feel the same? What do you think about the Apple's latest more freedom-like moves they've been making and features they've been releasing? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And moving on, Apple TV Plus adds insights to tell you which actor is on screen. Okay, this is very self-explanatory. I'll jump this honestly. I'm sorry if there's some Apple TV Plus fan that wanted me to read this, but I'm not an Apple TV user, so I'll just go over this one. A passwords app to keep track of your logins. This is interesting. So basically, as rumored last week, I'll rather read it. As rumored last week, Apple has revealed a new passwords app that will let you track of your login details across different devices. The app will let you generate and store passwords similar to other password managers like LastPass and the famous 1Password. Passwords will be available on iOS, iPadOS, macOS, visionOS, and even Windows. Okay, this is interesting. Very interesting. Give me just a second. Sorry. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is very self-explanatory. They created a manager, something more easier to with a more user-friendly interface. It's always welcome these types of changes, but it does feel like they're killing like LastPass and iPassword. If it happens that this manager is better than those third-party apps. But it wouldn't be the first time a tech company creates a feature that kills like 1,000 third-party apps. And funnily enough, the next thing we're gonna discuss is literally that. Because for years, this is very funny. For years, there's been like countless calculator third-party apps for the iPad. Why? Because Apple didn't provide one. A calculator app. Exactly. No, iPads did not have a calculator app. I do own an iPad Air from 2013 or something, and no, it does not have the calculator app did not exist back in back 10 years ago, and it still does not exist now. Go buy an iPad, you won't see it. Unless uh, you are, of course, buying a new iPad with iPadOS 18. Let's go over the article then. The iPad is finally getting a calculator app more than a decade after its release. Okay, it comes with a new feature called Math Notes. This is very welcome. It's very interesting. Which lets you use the Apple Pencil to write equations on your iPad and have the app solve it for you. If you know, I don't know if you know an app called Photomath. That's basically it. But and I'm not trying to say that the feature that Apple is releasing is not useful. Just literally just making the association. But it's very very welcoming. And as far as I've seen, it works really really good. So Apple is launching a smart script feature as well, which uses machine learning to improve the appearance of handwriting and spell check your notes. Okay. How many features we have left? One, two, three, three features left. Okay, I'll take a little break and then we'll go over the three last features, which are about the Mac OS, the Watch OS, and Vision OS, very software-wise. I'll be back in a sec. Let's put the beautiful pause screen. There we go, and I'll be back. See you soon. And don't be afraid to leave comments. They're very, very welcome. Any opinion is welcome, and I'll be happy to discuss anything, literally. But hopefully tech related. See you soon. Just a second, I'll be back. And I am back. Let's go over the last three announcements Apple has brought, excuse me, in their WWDC. Let's do this. And then I will end the live stream. This was a very nice first test. So, macOS 15 will let you mirror our iPhone. Oh, this is very, very useful. And it has been available on Android with third-party programs and I think a Windows native app. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it just works with Samsung's, but it exists. So let's see. Apple's new next macOS update will let you mirror iPhone on your Mac. You'll be able to interact with your iPhone directly from your Mac, letting you view notifications and hear the audio playing from your mobile device. There's also a new highlights feature coming to Safari, which uses machine learning to pick out interesting parts of a page. Okay, pretty self-explanatory, interesting. Apple will automatically serve widgets in watchOS 11. There are a ton of new features coming to watchOS 11 too, including a new capability that automatically adds widgets based on when you need them. Apple is launching a new Vitals app that will let you explore your most important health metrics with just a glance, as well as new cycle tracking features. live activities, and support for check-in, allowing your loved ones to track you during your workout. Interesting, interesting. I'm not coming on these ones a lot because I'm not an Apple Watch user, so, but yeah, these changes are very welcome. And finally, Vision OS. Obviously, I'm not a Vision OS user. Vision OS, Apple glasses have not been available here in the country I reside yet, but Apple do is going to expand them now. They have announced it for China, Japan, and other countries, if I'm not mistaken. So I suppose you're familiar with them, the Apple glasses, but they're basically Apple's attempts at virtual reality, and yes, they are trying it and they're bringing novelty to it. Let's see what changes did they announce. Vision OS 2 adds special photos and an ultra-wide Mac display. Apple has announced Vision OS 2, their second version of the operating system, with its first major update for the operating system. One of the new features coming to the Vision Pro uses machine learning to bring depth to an existing photo. You see, this is literally an example of how Apple avoids using the word artificial intelligence. So they say machine learning, and here they couldn't use AI or Apple intelligence because that's for iPhone, so I guess they picked machine learning. Marketing, it's an intelligent marketing uh, trick for Apple. So the update will also introduce supporting for an ultra-wide virtual Mac display, more intuitive gestures, and support for travel mode on trains. Interesting. Apple is also planning to bring the Vision Pro to more countries, including China, Singapore, Australia, Canada, France, and UK. Okay, so not Japan, as I said earlier. No, they're bringing it to China, Singapore, Australia, Canada, France, and the UK. Okay. And next AirPod Pro. Okay, no, this is not important. So basically, this was the uh, Apple's WWDC 13 biggest announcements. So a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of stuff related to AI. So do let me know if you're an iPhone owner in the comments. Which ones of these features are you most excited about? Is it the Siri getting a boost? Is it the AI features like you being able to create your own emojis out of texts, like a T-Rex wearing a tutu on a surfboard? What are you most excited about? Is it just the ability to make your home screen more yours and more personal? Which one of these features are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments. And we've gone on over everything. So, or also the ability to mirror your iPhone on your app on your macOS screen. Do let me know which one are you most excited about. This was literally all for today. We've reached the goal of the live stream. We went over the 13 biggest announcements Apple has made. I don't consider them bigger announcements, with the exception of AI, but rather incremental updates that were very needed and have existed as concept and feature things for ages in other systems, but they're very welcome. Very, very welcome. I think the part I'm most excited about is maybe the personalization. I know it sounds weird, given that this has been available in Android for years and I do own an Android. I do have to confess that I am excited to see how Apple will do it, their Apple way. We'll see. Because it's interesting, it's always interesting how a closed system suddenly is deciding to be so open. They decided to allow people to move apps wherever. It's madness now, anything is possible. And recently they even allowed emulators, like the apps that emulate Nintendo or PSP or old consoles from our childhood to be installed on the iPhone. That's very interesting. A company that has been closed for so many years is taking some very interesting decisions, and we'll see how everything goes. But do let me know in the comments what you think about all this. We've literally reached all the goals of these live streams, so if you're new to the channel, do give a like and subscribe, because the goal is to, if everything goes well, start doing these more often and we can create a space to debate some topics, maybe even some non-tech topics. You haven't seen, here's our beautiful pause screen from when I need to leave for maybe not 5 seconds, maybe a little more than that, but okay, that is the pause screen. Here's our wait screen, and thank you for everyone who kept up with the live stream. I hope it was interesting to see what Apple's been up to. And yes, I'm taking the house, and I see you next time.